Something strange is happening at Toyota. While the world's largest automaker is gearing up to release new EVs like the BZ3X in China next year, it's simultaneously scaling back its overall EV ambitions, citing slowing demand. In a striking move, just a few months ago, Toyota slashed its 2026 EV production target by a third, dropping from 1.5 million to 1 million cars, which would be 10% of its overall sales. With nearly 10 million vehicles sold annually, only 1.5% of its sales are currently battery electric, and its flagship EV, the BZ4X, has struggled so much that Toyota was recently forced to slash prices. This dichotomy raises questions about Toyota's approach to electrification and whether the world's leading car maker can adapt to the rapidly shifting automotive landscape. Toyota's BZ4X was supposed to be their answer to Tesla's Model Y, but it turned out to be quite a disappointment after a poor launch, plagued with issues such as the wheels falling off. It ended up being a very basic point A to B car with no real differentiating features, and a top configuration with just 252 miles of range. Sales don't seem to be doing too well, and so Toyota has just cut the price to make the 2025 model cheaper by a massive $6,000, such that it now starts at around $38,500 in the US. Toyota has been slow to the EV game, hasn't made the necessary investments into production and materials related to batteries and electric cars, and seems to be half-heartedly working on EVs while focusing on everything else such as hybrids and hydrogen fuel cells. Interestingly, the media would have you believe that EVs are a fad that's now over. However, when the company cut its overall 2026 EV guidance from 1.5 million to 1 million cars, they seem to hint that they're still focusing on 1.5 million cars by 2026, at least internally, and 3.5 million by 2030. This is a little bit strange, because if EVs are out and plug-in hybrids are in, why is Toyota still targeting extreme growth with millions of battery electric vehicles being sold over the next few years, and they're one of the furthest behind in terms of the legacy auto manufacturers? Walk into any Toyota dealership today and ask to buy their most popular car, a RAV4, but as a plug-in hybrid model, which seems to be what everyone wants, and they'll laugh in your face, telling you that there's so much demand for this vehicle, it's at least a 3, 4, 5-year wait in order to get one. But at the same time, Toyota appears to be struggling to boost its sales in the pure battery electric division. Everyone is saying that EVs are dead, while automakers are pulling back on their investments and their targets. However, in a bit of a twist, according to Toyota's financial results, reported just in November, in the prior 6 months, Toyota's battery electric cars actually outsold plug-in hybrids, which wasn't true last year at this time. While Toyota sold 78,000 EVs in 6 months, it's still unlikely that they'll get to their lower target of 1 million in 2 years, but these numbers are outpacing the oh-so-popular plug-in hybrids. It's almost as if Toyota wants the EV industry to pull back, to stall for time in order to catch up. Now, 44% of Toyota's sales have indeed been electrified, but the majority being traditional hybrid vehicles. But it seems that both plug-in hybrids and battery electric are at around the same level of sales, which are both low, but it may not be a demand issue. It could be Toyota's lack of supply. Even the plug-in hybrids have much smaller battery packs, and we know there's huge demand for them, and yet they still can't seem to get these vehicles out to market. Meanwhile, the Toyota BZ4X has certainly been off to a rough start. The company also sells the Lexus RX 450e, which is a fully electric car, and in China they've been producing since 2023 the BZ3, which is a battery electric compact sedan in partnership with BYD and FAW, and this vehicle uses BYD's Blade batteries. Toyota's latest venture into the electric vehicle market in China will take the form of the BZ3X, an electric SUV. By the way, whoever's naming these cars has the creativity of a tax form and should be fired immediately. The BZ3C, an electric sedan, was also unveiled earlier this year at the Beijing Auto Show. But it's really the BZ3X that's in focus, as pre-orders just opened up for this new car, which is planning to go on sale in March 2025, at the mind-blowing price of $13,800. However, it will only be available in China. The BZ3X, developed in partnership with GAC Toyota, which is a 50% owned joint venture, and it's being marketed as boasting a design that speaks directly to Chinese consumers' love for space and comfort within vehicles. Dubbed as a cozy mobile home, it's got seats that can lay flat, offering nearly 10 feet of space for relaxation or storage, although this doesn't seem like it's too unique of a feature. The vehicle is a bit smaller than the BZ4X, and it's also equipped with 27 sensors, including LiDAR, with advanced driver assistance systems, leveraging technology from NVIDIA and Momenta, and providing a suite of safety and convenience features. We've seen that too many sensors simply adds to cost and doesn't accomplish anything more than, for instance, Tesla's vision-only approach. But this means that Toyota may be selling this vehicle at a steep loss in the Chinese market. Although they may be able to take advantage of subsidies here, which won't be true in the US market, where Toyota is a little bit too late in bringing in local manufacturing, as Trump will likely be removing EV tax credits in 2025, and Toyota's BZ4X never qualified as it was built in Japan. But in China, it's unclear exactly what Toyota is planning to accomplish with a cheap joint venture car that won't bring in any profits, perhaps to hold up the line until they make something better, or try a bunch of different things and see what sticks. The BZ3X is fairly inconsistent with other vehicles in terms of its look and feel. It certainly looks better than Toyota's other cars, but it may be because it's designed with the help of GAC for the first time for an EV, as opposed to the BZ vehicle, which is made alongside China's FAW. Toyota also could have created a wholly owned subsidiary in China, instead of only getting a 50% stake in the business, which historically was necessary for doing business in China, although now the rule doesn't apply for pure EV companies. But it looks like Toyota may have needed the help of GAC, and if they are indeed taking losses, at least the volumes of EV sales are still quite low. However, the real intrigue lies with Tesla. Tesla recently surprised investors with increased sales and operating margins in its latest quarterly report. Tesla's doing just fine in China, despite the people calling for doom and gloom, recording 18,500 new EV registrations this past week, which is great for the company. But even more interesting, Tesla has been expanding their Shanghai factory in preparation for the launch of mysterious new vehicles, said to be up to 30% cheaper than the Model 3, its most affordable car. Tesla's already a force to be reckoned with in China, despite its vehicles costing much more than competitors such as BYD, in some cases triple. A fresh new vehicle, which is dubbed the Model Q, at a significantly reduced price, could make them far more competitive and crush players that are bringing basic but cheap vehicles to market, which appears to be a category that Toyota falls under. Tesla has strong brand loyalty even in China and has powerful software, even recently enabling actually smart summon for users in China. And let's not forget the convenience of the supercharger network, which is an important selling point when buyers are comparing vehicles. Furthermore, while Toyota's BZ3X isn't going to be shipped around the world, Tesla does appear to be planning to bring its cheaper cars to its factories in the US, which means no export fees or tariffs coming from China. If their vehicle is designed to be competitive in China, the world's largest and most intense EV market, then it will certainly crush in the rest of the world as well, especially in the US, where competition is few and far between. Toyota's electrification strategy seems to be at a crossroads. While battery electric vehicles surprisingly outsold plug-in hybrids in its latest fiscal report, both categories remain far behind expectations. This raises a crucial question. Is Toyota grappling with a lack of demand or a lack of supply, or both depending on which geography? Toyota's partnership with GAC for the upcoming BZ3X, a model specifically designed for the Chinese market, signals a shift in strategy aiming to cater to local tastes with advanced features and an aggressive price point. However, questions linger about whether this joint venture, which gives Toyota only a 50% stake, is enough to establish a foothold in the world's most competitive EV market. Meanwhile, competitors like Tesla continue to expand their dominance both in China and globally. With upcoming cheaper Teslas coming to market, This puts Toyota in a position to either accelerate its EV efforts or risk falling even further behind in the battle for EV relevance. So do you think Toyota has a lack of demand for its plug-in hybrids and EVs, or a lack of supply? Or is the company artificially holding back plug-in hybrid sales to give an aura of strong demand? Don't forget to watch my last video on GM shutting down its robotaxi business. Be sure to follow me on X at TMIOTesla. Please hit the like button and subscribe. We would really appreciate that. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons that help to support our channel. Your support helps us to continue to make great content. Thank you guys so much for watching.